Hello and welcome back. I'm Naima. It's the fourth installment in my long COVID exercise diary videos. This series is all about reintegrating exercise into my life after being bedbound for over a year. I went from exercising 5 times a week and walking everywhere to struggling to walk around the house, make dinner, let alone exercise. Since the beginning of the year, I've been reintroducing mobility into my life. In this video, I'm going to share how I've been doing in terms of movement and getting back out there when it comes to exercising. I'm not a doctor, so if you're recovering from long COVID or a chronic condition and you're not sure whether you should be exercising again, then please consult your doctor. First off, let's take a look at the data. I have POTS or dysautonia-like symptoms. What that does is it creates a really abnormally high heart rate and high blood pressure whenever I try and get moving at all. I get shortness of breath, and I've discovered that my heart rate needs to stay below 120 beats per minute on exertion for me to not have any deterioration in my symptoms. It's been a real breakthrough to learn this, and since then I've been keeping track of my heart rate when I'm moving around. I always use my health app on my iPhone, which is connected to my Apple Watch, which I always wear. I'm always looking at it to check how things are doing, how my heart rate and body is moving, and that's where I keep track of everything. So I only had 3 days this month where my heart rate went above 120 beats per minute, and that's a huge improvement. There were some days where anytime I was climbing up the stairs, going for a walk, walking around the house, my heart would race. So this is a really huge improvement for me. I also got a really exciting notification on my health app this morning as well, that over the last 5 weeks my heart rate has dropped overall when I'm active, when I'm walking. So when I'm active, it used to be around 93 beats per minute over the last 3 months, and now it's got down to 82 beats per minute over the last 5 weeks, as you can see. And this is great because it shows that whatever I'm doing is working and that I'm on the right track. I'm doing graded exercise at the moment, and I'm also taking beta blockers, and these two things together having a huge impact on my recovery. What was even more shocking was to look at the overall view over the last 6 months and even over the last 12 months. You can really see that in those early months of my illness, I was really struggling to move around, and as soon as I did, my heart would skyrocket disproportionately to the level of exercise that I was doing. I mean, I was in the house, I wasn't doing much. So you can see a real downward curve when I'm walking. So now it's often not getting beyond 100 beats per minute when I'm just walking, which is a really great sign. And this data is by no means providing all the answers into long COVID, but it's a great guide for me to know exactly how I'm doing in terms of movement. And it's also a good signal for me to know that I can start to move around a bit more, as I'm not seeing these huge increases, these sharp increases whenever I'm doing anything. This month was the month where I managed to, wait for it, I managed to exercise for a whole 10 minutes. And even on 2 occasions, I managed to walk 15 minutes to a dinner spot, have my dinner, and walk 15 minutes back. And this is a huge, huge improvement compared to where I was even in January. So this month was not one where I completely stuck to my plan, I will admit that. But it is a month where I've managed to incorporate a lot more variety into my exercise routine. I've been incorporating some low intensity exercise, seated, lying down, and walking a lot more. I've also been a lot kinder to myself. So some days all I can manage is 10 minutes at my desk, and it's not that intensive. Other days I can manage a really slow flow yoga session, and other days I can do some more low intensity exercises just lying down. So I've really tried to switch it up quite a bit in terms of the movement that I'm doing. I have to just listen to my body and decide, okay, today can I manage 5 minutes or 10? Can I do a walk and exercise, or is that going to be too much? And I'm moving through this a lot more intuitively than at the beginning, when I was really structuring every week going up by 30 seconds. But it's also a month where I really realized how much mental, physical and emotional energy contributes to my symptoms. I need to take things like work a lot slower. If I'm ramping up in the exercise part of my life, then I really need to slow things down in other parts of my life. So I'm having to be a lot mindful of how these three facets of my life intersect energy-wise. So this month I've also been overexerting myself mentally and emotionally. I think I've been working too much, and that is then having a knock-on effect on how much I can do physically. So I'm trying to be a lot more mindful of that. I'm re-establishing some good routines, and I'm sleeping, and I'm putting myself in a good environment to keep getting better. But overall, it's been really, really positive. When I started doing these 2 minutes of exercise, I honestly thought it would be a year before I could do 10 minutes. And I know 10 minutes does not sound like much, but it is a huge, huge improvement. And I'm really, really happy so far with the progress. And I'm hoping that over the next month or two, I can really ramp things up and get to living a much more normal life and not having to keep track too much on the exercise front of things. I won't be in the gym anytime soon, but right now I'm just happy to be able to walk around and not be in pain all the time. Over the next month, I'm going to be testing out how much can I walk realistically. Can I do a walk every day now? I know I can walk 15 minutes in one go, but I don't know if I can start doing that every day, and even beyond that, can I do 20 minutes? So that's what I'm going to be testing over the next few weeks and months. If you're interested in finding out more about where I started with my exercise journey since long COVID, check out the last 3 videos in the series. And if you want to have an overall look at how my long COVID trajectory has looked, then take a look at the video that's on screen around my long COVID timeline. That will take you all the way from bedbound to now, and all the things that have helped me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. See you in my next one.